Hello everyone, my name is Blue, and this is part 2 of drawing eeveelutions as humans. And in part 1, I did Leafeon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Espeon, and here I will finish up the last 5 to complete the whole group. And also, you don't need to watch part 1 first. I might talk about some of the characters from part 1 and their dynamics with the rest of the group, but I don't think you'll be missing much by watching this part first. And with that being said, let's just get into it. Starting off with Eevee. With this design, I wanted them to look both put together and very messy and chaotic at the same time. Like, they have this nice outfit with a button-up shirt, but it's also covered in patches and repairs. Speaking of, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed adding patches on my designs until I started designing these eeveelution characters. I gave them pigtails to be like Eevee's ears and also to mimic the shape of Eevee's tail a bit, and I gave them really choppy bangs that they definitely cut themselves. I gave them suspenders because I made one concept drawing with them and I just couldn't get rid of them. They're so silly and cute. And I gave them keychains of a little star and a fake tail that kind of looks like an Eevee tail. Kind of like what I did for my Leafeon design. I also wanted a way of representing all of the eeveelutions, so I gave them rainbow socks and gloves and patches in different colors that somewhat correspond with the other eeveelutions. Which I like because it contrasts all of the brown that's in Eevee's design. We're not doing sad beige Eevee, I can't. For their personality, they're very hyper, their brain runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they're always looking for new things and hobbies to try. If you ever asked them what they wanted to be when they grow up, they would have 1,000 different answers. They're always following the other eeveelutions around, joining them in whatever they're doing that day. It could be fishing with Vaporeon, or hiking in the woods with Leafeon, or even playing in the snow with Glaceon. Whatever it is, they want in. I thought of a dumb little scenario where at some point Jolteon and Espeon are trying to settle an argument on what song is better. And for context, if you didn't watch my last video, my Jolteon and Espeon both really love music. So they have Eevee listen to both songs and then pick which one they like better. But in the end, they said they liked both songs and they couldn't choose, which just goes to show how open-minded and positive Eevee is. Anyways, I just thought that was cute and silly. They're basically just like the baby sibling of all the other eeveelutions, and I think that is so adorable. But yeah, I love how this design turned out. I think they're very cute. I just love them. Next is Flareon. And honestly, this design is kinda a combination of a bunch of different decades in fashion, but I tried to lean mostly towards 80s. I feel like if I took the time to look at more references, it would have ended up looking more 80s, but it's fine. I gave her very fluffy hair in that sort of 80s style because it did remind me a lot of Flareon's poofy fur. And the jacket is kind of 70s-ish, but also like 80s because of the shoulder pads. But again, I added more fluff around the collar, the sleeves, and the ends of the jacket. And honestly, those boots are kind of leaning somewhat 60s. And maybe I could have added more fluff to the lower half of the design. Yeah, I'll say there's a few things I might want to change about this design, but for now it's fine, I still like it. I feel like Flareon would be kind of the mom of the group. She's always looking out for the others, and when they're doing something stupid or irresponsible, she'll advise against it, but if they do it anyways, she won't stop them, just so they can learn that their actions have consequences. She's basically just gentle parenting the whole group, and I think that is very funny. But yeah, like I said earlier, I think this design does need a bit more work, but I'm pretty happy with it for now. I think the idea is there, so I'm fine with it. Next up is Sylveon. And I'm just gonna say it, I love how this design turned out, but man, I was struggling to come up with ideas for a while. I intended to include Sylveon in the first part, but I just couldn't come up with anything that felt original. A lot of Sylveon human designs are very like Lolita fashion, coquette, magical girl, and don't get me wrong, I love those designs, but that just isn't my style. So when I was trying to do a design like that, it just wasn't working for me. So I wanted to make something that felt more original and like the stuff that I like to make. So first, I made him a boy, which isn't like unique or anything, it just felt like the less obvious choice, so I went with that. And like the fashion styles I mentioned before, I still made his outfit cutesy. I mean, it's Sylveon, you have to make it cute. It's just different from those styles. And yeah, I am much happier with this design than what I was doing in my first concept art. One thing I feel like I could have added more of was the flowy ribbons that Sylveon has. I just couldn't find a way to fit them in a way that I thought looked good. So I just kept it simple and I think it looks fine. I still added them to his bow tie and his shoelaces, so I think that's good enough. Sylveon is definitely a very whimsical guy. I feel like he is one of those characters that just shows up out of nowhere. No one knows where he comes from, just like in the middle of a conversation he just appears there to give questionable advice and then just disappears. He's just being silly, don't question it. Anyways, I really like how this design turned out. It's pretty simple, but I'm happy with it. And next is Glaceon. Now, for all of the designs I did in this video, I had no clue what I wanted to do, but I especially had that problem for Glaceon. But eventually, I was able to come up with something, and I think it looks good. I tried to incorporate a lot of diamond and triangle shapes in her design, trying to keep her silhouette very sharp. And when making concepts, I tried to think of hobbies or sports that I could do to just give me any ideas for her design. And since she's an ice type, I decided she'd probably be into something like snowboarding or skiing. So I gave her this snowsuit, again with lots of diamonds and triangle patterns. And for her hair, the bangs were very easy. Glaceon already has a part on its head that looks like bangs. But for the rest of the hair, I went through so many passes to get it right. Like, way more concepts than I usually do. But I ended up settling on these twin braids, which I think look very cute. Also, I was looking through old sketchbooks and found these old human designs that I made. And I gotta say, it is very fun to see how much I've improved over the years. I remember not really liking how that old Glaceon design looked, but I am a lot happier with the new one. Anyway, for her personality, she's definitely very chill, pun semi-intended. She's very much the cool older sister type. Like, she lets Eevee stay up past their bedtime, definitely going against what Flareon says. Glaceon and Sylveon are always letting Eevee get away with stuff like that to earn cool points. But yeah, I think her design turned out pretty cool for starting off with no ideas. And for the last eeveelution, we have Umbreon. And this one I'm a little on the fence with. I think the design is okay, the drawing itself though is not my best work. It was the last one that I did, so I was a little tired of drawing, so I kind of rushed it. And I would have redone it, but I didn't have the time to because this was right before I started an October art challenge, which I'm currently recording, so stay tuned. So I didn't have the time to redo this drawing. But it's fine, I think in the concept work you can see his design a bit better. But anyway, I decided to make him emo because I had no other plans, and I love the idea of making the dark type Pokemon emo. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also just kind of silly. I tried to incorporate the gold rings in his design as much as I could, so I put gold hair clip rings in his locks, gold bracelets, and a belt. And I also made his shirt red like his eyes just to have more colors than just yellow and black. And I don't really know where I got the stripes from, I just wanted more visual interest to break up all the dark colors in his design. For personality, he probably doesn't talk that much and he's very monotone. He's not mean, he's just quiet. He probably hangs out with Espeon and Jolteon the most, listening to them argue over music. Probably provoking the arguments a lot of the times because he thinks it's funny. Anyways, yeah, maybe at some point I'll redraw this because I think I could do better, but for now this will have to do. And that's all of them. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun doing all these designs, and I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk about them. Like I said earlier, I'm in the middle of an October art challenge, OC-tober to be more specific. And I'm hoping to have that video out in November. So, if you're interested in hearing me yap about my original characters, stay tuned. Anyway, follow me on Instagram, like, subscribe, whatever YouTubers usually tell you to do, and bye-bye!